Hey, I'm Curtis Stone and welcome to your next GMC Trade Secret. You know when you go to a restaurant and you taste something and you think, how do they get it to taste that good? This is quite often how they get it to taste that good. They make their own stocks. Now, I know you've heard it all before. It's a long drawn out process and it's much easier to get a little bit of bouillon or a stock cube. But trust me, I'm going to show you how to make a vegetable stock in less than 30 minutes. It's really no trouble. You can keep it in the freezer, keep it in the fridge, and then suddenly you can make beautiful soups, beautiful risottos, beautiful braises and stews, all sorts of great things. So let's make one together really quick. Turn on a pot of water. So it's cold water at the moment, right, is what you need to start off with when you're making a stock. And then I'm going to just throw my veggies in one by one. So I'm going to chop up my carrots, and you see I leave them in quite big pieces because it's a stock. You don't have to cut it up into too smaller bits, and it's only going to cook for 20 minutes. So you want it small enough to get the flavour out, but not too small that the flavour is going to go out in a second, and then you're going to discolour your stock. So throw them in about that big. Carrots, some celery. Throw in your stems of celery. I've got an onion here. So I'm going to cut my onions into eighths and just scoop those up and pop them into the water. Now the good thing about when you're making stocks is the vegetables don't all have to look absolutely perfect. It can be the stuff that's been sitting around in your crisper for a few days and you haven't quite got around to using. So just keep that in mind when you're making one. Now the leeks, you throw in all of this white and sort of the light green, and then the tops, we've got another use for that. What I want you to do is to hang on to some of these big green thick leaves because we're going to make what we call a bouquet garni. All right, now a bouquet garni is basically a little flavorful pouch. So you take some of these big thick leaves, get a bit of thyme, some aromatics, some bay leaves, and then you just wrap it up inside those green leaves, just like this. I'm going to put my peppercorns as well, my black peppercorns. Doesn't matter if they don't all make it because we can toss those in anyway. Get a little bit of string and then take your bouquet garni and I'm just going to tie it up. So the whole idea with a bouquet garni is that you can put in a little pouch of flavour, you can leave it in for as long as you want, and then you can take it out really easy as well. So quite often we put strong flavoured things or aromatics like this into a bouquet garni. So once you've tied that up, you take the bouquet garni and you drop that in as well. And then I've got a whole head of garlic. I'm just going to cut that in half and then throw that into the water. Right, what you do now is you allow it to come up to the boil uncovered. So our stock's been simmering for about 10 or 15 minutes, and what you need to do, you can just see this little collection of the scum just coming up to the surface there. You just want to scoop that out with your ladle, just like that, and get rid of those impurities so it doesn't turn your stock cloudy. A few more minutes and we'll be ready to strain it. Okay, so our stock is ready to strain. So what you do is you just turn it off. Get yourself a nice big strainer like this and just pick up your stock pot and just carefully pour all of that stock out. So pour it all out like that. You can see all of that beautiful flavour that we put in there. So what you do is you just give that a good strain, okay, give it a bit of a shake. We're going to discard the veggies and keep the stock. There's a million things you can do. Of course, you might want to use half of it now to make a soup and freeze the rest. The choice is yours. Now you know how to make a great versatile vegetable stock, and that was brought to you by the versatile GMC Terrain. I'm Curtis Stone, and that's your GMC Trade Secret.